Hi guys, Miggy Make It Go here. Once again, I haven't filmed an intro for this video. It is how to remove door hinges, particularly if the screws are painted over and just really difficult to get your screwdriver in there and undo those screws. If you have any ideas of what you want the next video to be, please comment down below. Subscribe to our channel if you want to see more. Quite often I find it's very difficult to get screws from hinges. So as you can see, this is entirely been painted over. You can barely see the screws, let alone where you're supposed to put the screwdriver to try and get them out. Here's a few techniques to make it a bit easier. One thing you can do is get a paint scraper like this. Just try and scrape some of that paint off. This is actually a different hinge than the one I was showing you before. And if they are flathead screws, try and like dig into that area. If that doesn't work, or once, I guess you want to use a combination of things. So what I'm doing here is I've got a flathead screwdriver and I'm just digging in and trying to remove some of the paint in that area. Once that's done, what you want to do is just try and slot your screwdriver in there and turn it. Now, if that doesn't work, you want to put the screwdriver in there and then tap it. Tap the end of the screwdriver quite firmly with either a hammer or the handle of another screwdriver. I can't do that at the same time as I hold the camera, so that's what I'm going to do, and I'll take a few photos and you can see how I get on. So all I'm doing is just clearing out the paint in that screw slot. I'm using my paint scraper and my screwdriver. I am tapping the screwdriver into the slot and then trying to turn the screw anti-clockwise, lefty-loosey, to try and remove it. So this is really tedious. It does take a really long time and you need to be patient. Sometimes I find that I get to the point where I can't, I'm unscrewing the screw but it's not coming out. Now in situations like that, sometimes you can just hand unscrew the screw and that's great when that happens, but sometimes like this one you can't. So what I find I do at that point is I wait until I've got all the screws to that point or out, and then I undo it, like I guess I undo it while I'm pulling the hinge and putting pressure on the back of the screw. One thing I did want to say is when you put the screwdriver into the hole and you're hammering, into the screw head, and you're hammering on it, sometimes I do that on an angle and that helps to, I guess, clear any gunk out that's in the head of the screw. The reason it's a good idea to just tap on it, tap on the screwdriver is, firstly, it clears out that slot. Secondly, it makes sure that the screwdriver is seated as well as possible inside the screw. But the third thing is it actually sends vibrations down into the screw, and that can help loosen the screw up. So when I first started doing this, I was like, oh, this is not working. I don't know if the tapping is helping. But honestly, I've done like many hinges I've pulled off doors in the same way, and the tapping really does help. So be patient, keep at it, and hopefully you will have all your hinges off or whatever it is that you're trying to do as soon as possible. Something that I find really useful is maybe it's just me, it helps with being patient, but I switch between each screw. So as you can see, I've pulled this top one out. This second one down, I can't turn with my fingers, but I can turn with the screw and with the screwdriver, and it's not coming out anymore. This third one down I'm having real trouble with. I've started to, I guess, strip the head of the screw a little bit. So I'm just taking a break from that one and I'm going to start working on this bottom one here. So I alternate between them. The other thing I want to say is that you probably don't want to use your best screwdrivers for this. You are using the screwdriver a little bit as a chisel and stuff that it's not really meant for, so maybe just use your cheap screwdriver. Okay, so we're down to the last one, and this is the one that when I turn the screw, it just turns round and round. So what I'm going to do is try and turn it. I can't with the camera where it is, but I'm going to turn it while I'm pulling the hinge forward. Or I would if I was more coordinated, but that's what I would do. So turning it while I'm putting pressure on this here. And that's that top one done as well. While we're here, I'm going to show you how to take a door handle off. So as you can see, there's 2 screws in the latch part there, and there's nothing on this door handle, but around the other side, hello, how's it going? What's happening? It's giving me the evil eye. So around the other side, there are 2 screws hidden in here. Now these are Phillips screws, so you will need a Phillips screwdriver. So you just want to put the screwdriver in there, lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. So what I find is you pull off the 2 door handles first, and then you pull this bit out. Sometimes you get to a point where you've screwed this out as far as you can, and you can't put your screwdriver in that gap there. So what I find you need to do is make sure you've screwed both out a little way and work on them together. So do this one a little bit and then do this one a little bit. And that will mean that you'll always be able to fit your screwdriver in there. Make sure you store it like this and do the screws in a little bit, and that way nothing will get lost. So you just undo the 2 Phillips screws on the latch and pull it out of the door. That's what it looks like. I like to store the screws in the holes, and I've actually just placed it all here on the ground because that's how I roll. That's all we have today. That's how to remove door hinges and door handles, particularly if the screws are stuck. Subscribe to our channel for more crafty and DIY videos, and leave a comment down below if you have an idea of what we should show you next.